Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the AM model. But actually, scratch the abstract theoretical astrophysics. We're bringing this right down to Earth into applied sciences. We're going to look at how a vibrating cosmic tension net literally dictates everything, from your own biological health and cellular stability, right down to the structural integrity of the bridges you drive across every single day. We've got 5 main stops on our agenda today: the universal tension net, cosmic weather and resonance, biology as structural tuning, material fatigue and memory, and we'll wrap up with the future of harmonic engineering. Let's jump right in. Section 1, the universal tension net. So to really get how this impacts us, we have to totally reframe how we view the universe. It is definitely not an empty, passive void. Think of it more like a hyper-energetic, vibrating ocean. The AM model calls this the dissociative pressure field, or DP field. Imagine all of space as this taut, vibrating net. In this model, energy and matter aren't just solid objects floating around in empty space. They're actually localized areas where this net has folded in on itself. It's kind of like a piece of string that's been twisted and twisted until it forms an incredibly stiff, recursive knot. And that knot? That's what we perceive as mass. Now, because this internal knot is so unbelievably dense, it can't just sit there. It needs a protective boundary, what we call an active skin, to constantly process the tension of the medium around it. This is a massive shift in thinking, because it means every single particle in the universe, including every atom in your body, is a working, active mechanical engine, constantly negotiating with the space around it. That brings us to part 2, cosmic weather and resonance. So if all matter is made of these tiny, constantly working engines, what happens when they get hit by the massive vibrational waves of the cosmos? It comes down to how these internal engines react to external waves. And honestly, it's just like musical harmony. When the universe's frequency aligns perfectly with the harmonic cycle of matter, we get constructive resonance. The incoming waves basically act as mechanical scaffolding, giving us peak atomic stability with barely any effort. But when those frequencies clash, we get destructive dissonance. That introduces topological noise, forcing the active skin to burn excess energy just to survive, which generates some severe localized friction and stress. And you can see how this builds into a disaster. Say a massive solar storm hits. It floods the baseline medium with this aggressive structural noise, completely overwhelming the active skin's buffer. Structural drag spikes violently, and to protect the core fundamental particles, the overarching atomic bonds just shatter. On a macro scale, we see this cascading mechanical failure as infrastructure melting, or in living tissue, as severe cellular mutation and radiation sickness. Let's pivot to part 3, biology as structural tuning. Keeping that intense mechanical strain in mind, let's bring this concept directly into our own bodies and completely reframe how we think about life on Earth. Sriman Barawa sums this up perfectly, saying, biological evolution is fundamentally a thermodynamic tuning process. This is a total paradigm shift. Evolution isn't just random genetic mutations driving survival of the fittest. It's literally the process of living cells desperately trying to find the perfect mechanical rhythm to survive in Earth's highly specific cosmic weather. You see, our planet has a very specific non-linear elastic pressure, or NLEP, density gradient, and it's bathed in a specific baseline frequency from our sun. So every single cell in your body is essentially a microscopic tuning fork. Complex biological molecules have evolved to lock their collective active skins into constructive resonance with this exact energetic tension. Basically, your health is structural synchronization. This totally explains why going into deep space is just brutal on the human body. When astronauts travel out there, they suffer from frequency deprivation. You're literally starving your cells of the structural resonance they need to function. Without that native mechanical scaffolding, the active skins fall out of sync, cellular engines exhaust their internal reserves, and it triggers really rapid, severe biological decay. Moving on to part 4, material fatigue and memory. This relentless struggle against cosmic drag doesn't just affect biology or astronauts. It actually leaves physical scars on absolutely everything around us. We call this scarring process grooving or topological memory. Remember that active skin is a constantly cycling engine. Over time, this sheer mechanical effort required to process clashing dissonant frequencies permanently alters the core rhythm of the material. The engine's step-down buffer actually remembers this thermodynamic struggle. And it's wild how this unifies 2 totally different fields in applied science. Whether we're talking about a steel beam in an industrial bridge becoming brittle and failing over decades, or trauma and toxins permanently altering human DNA expression through epigenetic imprinting, it's literally the exact same underlying mechanism. It's matter collapsing under the sheer exhaustion of fighting out-of-tune frequencies. Which brings us to Section 5, the future of harmonic engineering. Okay, I know this sounds daunting. We're at the mercy of a vibrating universe, right? Well, what if we could actually control this universal symphony? Enter synthetic harmonic engineering. By treating all matter as active thermodynamic engines, the AHM model completely opens the door to manipulating the dp field for some truly unimaginable breakthroughs. We could calculate the unique architectural rhythm of literally any compound and broadcast targeted waves directly into the tension net to manipulate matter on a foundational level. Imagine what this looks like in the real world. Through targeted dissonance, we could figure out the exact breaking frequency of a specific virus, broadcast a wave that perfectly clashes with it, and literally sing a virus to death by shattering its atomic bonds mechanically, no toxic chemicals required. And on the flip side, using artificial constructive resonance, we could bathe failing organs in their perfect native frequencies to artificially repair them. We could even apply this to manufacturing, forging industrial alloys in perfect synchronization to create almost unbreakable materials. So, I want to leave you with this profound realization. If the entire universe, the cells in our bodies, the steel in our cities, is just a vibrating tension net, then mastering the rhythm of that net might just be the key to mastering life itself. What if the future of medicine and engineering isn't chemical at all, but purely structural? It's a wildly fascinating thought, and it completely reshapes how we understand our place in the universal symphony.